lesser capacity or even more bewildered. So it's a very problematic time what we're living in, these situations, but you cannot bring a darar to yourself. You cannot bring harm to yourself. It's part of the Sharia that if you're living in a place to go against their laws will bring harm to you, that is haram to do that. And Muslims that openly reject the law of this country are not only placing themselves in a dangerous position, they're placing other innocent Muslims in a dangerous position. So there's no...
So, brothers and sisters, you ever heard this as well? That he is telling the Muslims that they should obey the law of the land that they live in, and we do not respect any law except Islamic law. Now, his exact words were that for you to go against the law of the country, you have brought problems on yourself. If you have a factory, which one of you would employ a gay? Would you turn him down at the interview? Show hands those who turn him down at the interview. Yeah, but you have discriminated against the gay. You have gone against the law of the country. And he can sue you for your factory and take away what you have. Would you still turn him down? You would still. But you are going against the law of the country. The country says that you should give equal opportunities, and you are going against democracy. Democracy means everyone has equal rights. So this person is telling us that we should obey the law of the country. But as Muslims, we only obey the law that coincides with Quran and Sunnah. We don't have to obey any other law. So he produces a tape on the Dajjal, yet he is telling us to obey the Dajjal system. This is gruesome inconsistency. This is what? Gruesome inconsistency. Let's continue with our topic, the Murji'ah. Also the scholars, the leaders are kafirs. The leaders who dismantle the Sharia, they are kafirs. Anybody have a problem with that? Anybody have a problem with that? I've just told you the hit. My question to you, what about the scholars who sit at the throne of the apostate leaders? What do you call them? Kafirs. What's your evidence? Okay, Ma'idah 51. The evidence can be found in Ma'idah 51. If you give your wala to anyone, you become that. If you give your wala to a Jew, you become a Jew. Wala means allegiance. If you give your wala to a Christian, you become a Christian. If you give your wala to an apostate, you become an apostate. Have you heard about the fatwa of Ibn Taymiyyah? Ibn Taymiyyah in volume 35, page 373 said, متى ترك العالم علم واتبع الحاكم في حكمه المخالف لكتاب الله وسنة الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم كان هذا العالم كافرا مرتدا يستحق العقوبة في الدنيا والآخرة. Anytime a scholar leaves off his knowledge and leadership that goes against Quran and Sunnah, this scholar has become a kafir, an apostate, and he deserves to be punished both in this life and in the hereafter. So anytime a scholar leaves off his knowledge and follows the corrupted leader, he himself has become a kafir, deserving to be punished both in this life and in the hereafter. Likewise, Ma'idah 51 is the evidence that whosoever you give your allegiance to, you become that. So if you give your allegiance to a Jew, you become a Jew. A Christian, you become a Christian. A Hindu, you become a Hindu. A Sikh, you become a Sikh. A hypocrite, you become a hypocrite. A murtad, an apostate, you become an apostate, and so on and so forth. Another question. You've agreed with me that leaders are kafirs for dismantling the Sharia, and they take the UN for their friends and allies, and they implement the resolution of the UN, so the Iraqi children are dying by the hundreds. So they've taken sides with Christians and Jews against the Iraqi Muslims, which makes them a kafir. And their support for the junta in Algeria and the Christians in the Sudan to kill Muslims, and many other things that make them become kafirs. Many things that cause the leaders to become kafirs. Salafis for cementing their throne, I've given you the fatwa of Ibn Taymiyyah. These were not the words of Faisal. Ibn Taymiyyah, volume 35, page 373, and Surah Ma'idah, verse 51. Whosoever you give your wala to, you become that. What about the students of sheikhs like Bin Baz and Uthaymeen, who go around all over the world and get paid from the Saudi regime, and they cement the throne of the leaders and said that what the leaders are doing is a minor kufr? Are they kafirs as well? The Salafis I'm talking to more specific, are they kafirs as well? Now when Allah Ta'ala revealed Ma'idah 51, did Allah reveal Ma'idah 51 to scholars or to the layman? To the layman. Why did Allah reveal the ayah? The Muslims lost the battle of Uhud because they disobeyed the Prophet. When they were going back to Medina, one of them said, when I go back to Medina, I want a Christian for my friend, because if a calamity should befall us again like today, at least I have the shoulders of a Christian to lean on. The other one said, I want a Jew for my friend, because if another calamity should befall us like today at Uhud, at least I have the shoulders of a Jew to lean on. These were laymen, ordinary men. When Allah heard them speaking like this, Allah said, يَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا لَا تَتَّخِذُوا الْيَهُودَ وَالنَّصَارَى أَوْلِيَاءَ بَعْضُهُمْ أَوْلِيَاءَ بَعْضٍ وَمَن يَتَوَلَّهُم مِّنكُمْ فَإِنَّهُ مِنْهُمْ. All you who believe, don't take Christians and Jews for friends, because they are friends of each other. And if you take them for friends, you have become one of them. So Allah was speaking to the layman, not scholars, a lay person, a simple person, that the moment you take Kafirs for friends, Christians and Jews, you have become one of them. So the Saudi Salafis, who are vehement and enthusiastic in cementing the throne of the apostate leaders, they have apostated from Islam as well. And any woman who is cohabiting with them, she is guilty of committing zina. She is guilty of what? Adultery. It is said that many of them have apostated in Brixton, but they were told not to live in the situation. And these women are cursed because they are cohabiting with men who are the enemies of Allah Ta'ala, His Rasul, and Al-Islam. Another question for you. Now, the brothers, unfortunately, some brothers claim that they are of the Jihad Fikra. Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, these brothers are to be found in Tooting and Finsbury Park. They don't believe that the Salafis who are cementing the throne of the apostate leaders, they don't believe they are Kafirs. Where are these brothers found? In Tooting and in Finsbury Park. If you should attend a halqa in Tooting, you will leave, you are confused. You don't know if these brothers who spoke, gave the halqa, they are with Salafis or they are with us. All the brothers who have been for jihad training, every single one of them are Salafi inclined. The only ones who are not Salafi inclined are the ones who went for jihad training from this halqa. If I am lying, please correct me now. All the brothers who have been for jihad training, they are Salafi inclined. And some of them said they have lost their arms in jihad and still they are Salafi inclined. Now if you were damaged fighting jihad, how comes you have in your heart love for the people who are cementing the throne of the apostate leaders? But I'm sure you know the hadith. 3 men will be drunk on their faces and dumped into the hellfire. The scholar, he seeks knowledge to be called a scholar. The spender, he spent his money not to help Muslims, to be called a spender, a kind-hearted. The Mujahid, he went to jihad not to spread Islam, but to be called the lion heart, the brave heart, the Mujahid. These brothers, they are in the 3rd category. They are using the word jihad for fame and fortune and to line their pockets. They are not sincere. This is why they are all Salafi inclined. If they were sincere, they would hate even the shadow of a person